Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the webinar today on the D5 radioisotope identification device, which is Kromek's latest generation RIID. Thanks everyone for taking the time to participate today. It was great to see that so many of you had signed up, and it's great to see so many of you here today. Just as a note, the whole webinar will be recorded and the recording will be sent out to everyone who's signed up. So if you didn't manage to catch it today, that recording will be sent out to you. The webinar is going to take the form of a presentation where I'm going to take you through the D5 RIID, including all of its key features and key benefits and the way that it operates. Throughout the webinar, you'll be able to ask questions via the Q&A feature. So it's just that usual Q&A feature on the bar on Zoom. So if you want to pop any questions in there that you might have throughout the webinar, feel free. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to answer as many of these questions as I possibly can within the time. Any of the questions that I don't manage to answer, I will get back to you on via email. So all of the questions that you put in there, you will get an answer to. But I will try and answer as many of those as I can at the end of the presentation. So I'm here today to talk about Kromek's latest generation RIID, and you might actually be quite surprised to see a handheld device here on this first slide, because we're all used to seeing those bulky, awkward devices that people use for radioisotope identification. And that's because I'm here to talk about a revolutionary device, which is lighter and smaller than any other RIID on the market, and it really easily fits inside the palm of your hand, as you can see there on that picture. And it does all this without compromising any of the detector capability. Okay, so just a little bit about me. My name's Eve Paler, and I'm a product manager here at Kromek. I look after the nuclear products, and I'm responsible for products within the nuclear security and civil nuclear markets. So as a product manager, I work closely with customers to understand the application requirements and to understand the market need more generally. So during this webinar, I'm going to talk a little bit about Kromek and who we are as a company, our nuclear security portfolio, what we have currently and how this led towards the D5 RIID. I'm going to talk about the D5 RIID in much more detail, including all of the key benefits and features, the different configuration options that you can have, the e-learning platform that we can offer, and the ways that the device can be externally integrated into existing systems. I'm also going to talk about our accessories, what we offer as standard and what we offer as optional add-ons. And then, as I said, I'm going to go through that Q&A section at the end. I'm going to answer as many of those questions as I can. So Kromek provides radiation detection solutions globally in 3 different markets. These include nuclear detection, medical imaging, and security screening. Kromek is a UK-US company, has its headquarters in the northeast of England, but we have extensive manufacturing sites in both the UK and the US, and we sell our products globally. So Kromek has an extensive portfolio of handheld nuclear security products. So I've showed the nuclear product family that we have here and showed how the D5 RIID fits into all this. So on this first line, we see the PRDs. We see the D3 PRD, which is a high sensitivity gamma only detector. We also see the D3M, which is a high sensitivity gamma and neutron detector. And we also see the D3S PRD, which has a smartphone interface. So that covers our PRD range. Within the RIID space, we have the D3SID, which is a RIID with a smartphone interface. We also have the D5, which obviously I'm going to talk about in a lot more detail, which is our latest generation RIID. I've also shown here some of the network solutions that we can provide, which allows a group of detectors to be viewed from a central location. Our network solutions were developed as part of the DARPA Sigma program in conjunction with the US government, and they allow large-scale networks and network-level algorithms. I'm going to go through all of our network options a little bit later in the presentation as well, and all the different ways that we can network our devices. So those of you who've used RIIDs before are all too aware of the really large and bulky devices currently available for radioisotope identification. These devices, as you know, weigh in at several kilograms, quite cumbersome to carry around, and aren't very portable. Here at Kromek, we're passionate about providing high quality detector capabilities while always having the end user in mind and always taking end user into consideration when we're making product design decisions. We want to create products which work seamlessly with the operator and can really be relied upon to give you accurate information, because of course these devices are used to guide the toughest decisions. So you need that accurate information at the right time. Through continuous design and development, we've created a detector which performs accurate isotope identification across all categories, with the ability to detect special nuclear material even in heavily masked or shielded configurations. The device is able to collect spectra with a resolution of 3.5%, which can then be sent for secondary adjudication using our reachback functionality. So all of this trialed and tested detection technology is housed in this revolutionary device, which is small and light enough to fit in one hand, as you can see in the picture there, easily fits into someone's hand. The D5 RIID was developed in partnership with the US Defense Threat Reduction Agency, and it provided a small, light 3.5% resolution wearable RIID, which has a really extensive radioisotope library and an ultra-low false alarm rate. So it offers many key benefits. It incorporates a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch CLLBC detector crystal. This gives you that 3.5% resolution. You're also going to get an area efficiency of 1.62 when you compare that to a 2 inch by 2 inch sodium iodide crystal. So this means that you're getting detection capability which is 60% better than that of bulkier crystals, but you're getting all of that superior detection capability in a crystal which fits comfortably within this handheld device. The detector can detect radiation from gamma sources in the range of 30 keV to 3 MeV, and it can also detect radiation from neutron sources. The dose accuracy is plus or minus 10%. This far exceeds the specification laid out in ANSI N4234. This level of accuracy this level of dose accuracy holds across the entire range, so all the way from 0.01 microsieverts per hour to 1 sievert per hour. And this dose rate accuracy is achieved across this entire range because you have an additional high dose sensor which is built into the detector as standard. The isotope library for the D5 detector is extensive, and it covers both ANSI N4234 and the DNDO Technical Capability Standard, which was released by the Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office as part of US Homeland Security. The DNDO standard actually goes further than the ANSI standard, and it really proves and really hammers home the D5 RIID's ability to detect mixed, shielded and highly masked configurations. And this includes special nuclear material. So special nuclear material can be detected even when masked or shielded, and this has been thoroughly tested through the device's adherence to this standard. This ensures that you're getting really reliable identification across all of the categories of isotopes, including norm, industrial, medical, and special nuclear material. The D5 RIID also benefits from a really low false alarm rate of 1 in 24 hours. Also, it does all of this while maintaining its really high level of sensitivity. This false alarm rate greatly exceeds ANSI N4234, which illustrates that the device can really be relied upon to give you the right information at the right time. Again, allowing you to make quick and effective decision making in the time when it matters most. The device is light, with dimensions that are ideal for handheld use. It's one of its key features is that it's really small and can easily fit into your hand. It can be fully operated using one hand, and it's light and unobtrusive enough to be belt and body worn. So you're still able to go about your daily business even when using and wearing this RIID. The device consistently performs self-calibration. You don't need any additional radioactive sources to perform calibration. It does this using naturally occurring sources, and this ensures that the device can be relied upon to give you accurate information. So you're going to consistently remain in calibration. As part of this, and as part of its calibration checks and its usual checks that it does, it undertakes automated health checks as well. The D5 RIID benefits from an enhanced battery life, which is flexible for use in the field. You've got two different types of battery. You've got the internal rechargeable battery and also the replaceable battery options, which takes the form of 3 AA batteries. So you can use either of these just in isolation, or you can use them in conjunction. So you can just use that internal rechargeable battery just on its own. You can just use those 3 AA batteries on their own, or you can use them both together. You can also use the 3 AA batteries to elongate the life in the field. So if you're running out of battery in the field, you can replace those batteries. This can easily be done in the field without the need for extra tools and while wearing PPE. So the D-clip design on the back on the battery compartment can be easily lifted and turned while wearing all manner of gloves and all manner of PPE. So you can take that battery door off, you can remove the batteries, replace the batteries, and replace that battery door, all without having to halt your operation to remove your PPE. So this enhanced battery life with these two different battery options gives you a battery life of greater than 12 hours. This greatly exceeds ANSI N 4234, and you're able to extend the battery life in the field, as we discussed, by inputting these extra batteries. The design's ruggedized, meaning that it's able to withstand harsh and challenging environments with ease. The device is designed to both ANSI N 4234 and also to the more demanding military standard 810G. The operational temperature range is from -20 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius, and this ensures that the device can be used around the world. The environmental tests have been further reinforced by all of the environmental testing that we've undertaken as part of ANSI N 4234, which means that we've covered that whole suite of environmental testing. So everything from humidity, drop tests, temperature shock, all of that suite of testing has been covered. The device is also IP67 rated, which means that it can be fully submerged in water and it will still be absolutely fine. There's also the added benefit of an earphone input for covert use, if that's something that's required. So the RIID has 3 different modes of operation, so 3 different ways that you can kind of use the device in normal operation. You have search mode without ID, which is where the device can perform a search mode which continuously scans the area for threats, but it won't actually alarm if you get an isotope ID, it will just alarm if the radiation level rises. You can also perform a search mode with identification, which means the device continuously scans for threats and identifies any radioactive sources instantaneously. So you can see here on the picture, you can see the americium's being detected, it's being categorized as an industrial isotope, and you can take action on that alarm or you can send that to reach back. You can also undertake confirmation mode, which means that you can perform a 30-second to 5-minute confirmation assessment to accurately identify that isotope. A spectrum can then be sent for secondary adjudication using the device's reachback capability, and this means that the high efficiency 3.5% spectral resolution of the device really comes into its own, because you can send that higher resolution spectrum from the field for reliable secondary adjudication. All reachback files are also sent in the industry standard N4242 file format. The device is able to offer audible, visual and vibrational alarms when a threat is detected. This is able to be configured for the device as a whole and for individual alarms. So you can configure whether you want an audible, visual or vibrational alert to come with all of the alarms, including isotope ID, the alarms for rises in level of radiation, in addition to gamma, neutron, and dose alarms. So the device is able to be configured in 3 different ways, and this is dependent on the level of authority of the user. So on the device itself, you can use the device as a routine or restricted user. So a routine user will be able to do all search mode, confirmation mode, reach back functionality. It'll be able to use the device in its usual way. A restricted user can access additional functionality via the settings menu. So for example, they'd be able to change the way that the device actually operates. So they'd be able to change things like alarm thresholds. You can enable or disable the alarm's audible alerts, anything like that that might affect the device performance, which is on the actual device. But a routine user wouldn't be able to make changes to those. The settings that are available only to a restricted user are indicated by a lock icon, and they're all password protected. So a user is also able to configure the device using a desktop-based maintenance software, and this involves turning different features on and off across the whole device. So from the desktop software, you'd be able to enable or disable something like Bluetooth Low Energy across the whole device. It's also possible for files and information to be extracted from the device remotely. So with regard to training, training is a big part of any product, and it's really important to ensure that an operator is using a device in the best possible way and in a way that works best for them and keeps them safe. Obviously now in 2020, we're aware more than ever how difficult travel can be. So we know that this face-to-face training isn't always possible. And this means that there needs to be a way to effectively train a whole fleet from a remote location. So this can be achieved using our Android-based application. So of course we're able to provide that in-person training, but this Android application can act as a low-cost alternative. It allows users to access training anywhere at any time. Videos guide the user through all elements of the device operation. These videos are split into easily digestible 5-minute segments. You can scroll through the training application and see all of these videos. The content that you're actually going to see can be tailored to each user group. So you can see here on the screen, you can enter a PIN. So for example, if you wanted 2 methods of training, one for just routine users and one for restricted users to add that extra level of content that they might need, you would be able to provide that. At the end of all the content, when you've watched all of the videos, you'll be asked to undertake a short assessment to assess competency. And from there, we can decide what happens with the training and if it needs to be undertaken again or if the competency's been gained. So the D5 RIID can be easily integrated into existing networks and sensor hubs to give an overview of a group of detectors. Kromek's own application for interfacing can be provided to aid in integrating this device into these existing networks. So this includes customers' own networks. If you have a network that you already use, we'll be able to integrate into that. Or a network such as MFK or Brun New Tech. Alternatively, a network solution can be provided with detector purchase, where we'd be able to provide a turnkey solution to observe a group of detectors. So we'd be able to recommend those networks for you. The design of our devices here at Kromek is always undertaken with the end user in mind, and we always have them in our minds when we're making decisions about the product. And this enables our device to be used to give the right information at the right time to ensure quick and correct decision making. The D5 RIID offers many benefits to the end user, with its unprecedented accuracy and revolutionary small size. This includes the ability to detect these mixed, shielded, and heavily masked isotope configurations that I've mentioned before. And this means that all possible threats can be identified, so you're not going to miss anything when you're out on these missions. The ability to detect shielded and heavily masked configurations has been extensively tested through the D5 RIID's adherence to that DNDO standard by the Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction Office. The Isotope Library included in the DNDO standard is covered by the D5 RIID's Isotope Library, and this is in addition to the Isotope Library detailed in ANSI 4234, so you're getting a really extensive library of isotopes which covers all of those categories. So it's covering everything from norm, medical, industrial, and special nuclear material. The category that each isotope fits in is clearly displayed on these alarms to allow for effective decision making. The D5 RIID clearly displays all alarms and alerts and will show all of the isotopes present in order of significance. So for example, if you're getting a mixed configuration of 4 isotopes, you'll see all of those isotopes listed individually, and these will be ordered in order of significance. Spectra can be really easily sent back for secondary adjudication using the really easy to use reach back functionality on the D5. All spectral data, as I've mentioned, will be sent with a resolution of 3.5%, which allows really accurate analysis. And these files are all sent in that industry standard ANSI N4242 file format. So it's really easy for the person performing that secondary adjudication also. The RIID continuously monitors the environment for threats, but the ultra-low false alarm rate of 1 in 24 hours means that nuisance alarms won't be a problem, and you'll know that if you're getting an alarm, that's something that that is something that's worth your attention and not just a nuisance alarm. And as I've mentioned, its small size and lightweight make it an ideal wearable device, which can be used in one hand. You've also got the benefit of the spaced out buttons and simple method of operation, which means that it can be really easily used when wearing PPE. And this includes all levels of OSHA and MOP PPE. So the D5 RIID's excellent detection capabilities make it an optimal product in many applications. So for example, in Homeland Security operations, its small size and weight, along with its high sensitivity, make it really ideal for prolonged one-handed security screening operations. Its small size also makes it really great for discrete monitoring in places like airports or other critical infrastructure. In military applications, it's the smallest and lightest all-in-one RIID, so you're really going to benefit from that size and lightweight design yet again. So it's going to be excellent to use on extended adjudication missions. You're also benefiting from all of that excellent radiological capability also. And the D5 RIID can be used for container screening in places like ports. Its small size make it ideal for one-hand operation when you have to use the other hand to perform other tasks, for example, climbing a ladder. And again, you're just going to benefit from all those radiological benefits that I have discussed. So obviously this isn't an exhaustive list of all of the applications. It can be used in many different applications. So as standard, with the D5 RIID, we provide all plugs and charging cables. You're also provided with that maintenance configuration software, so that desktop-based tool, which allows you to make configuration changes. You also get a Peli case, which provides a hardened transit case to house all accessories, manuals, and documentation. You're also going to get a silicone sleeve, which provides protection from drops and impacts and has an inbuilt hand strap. So again, making it really easy to use in one-handed operation. And you're also going to get a MOLLE pouch, which allows the device to be body worn. It's also, actually, within the included with the D5 RIID as well is the 3-year warranty. So it's also possible to choose optional add-on accessories depending on the application and the way that the detector will be used. You can choose to have the e-learning platform, which can be provided, as I've been through earlier, so you can use the Android app-based training. You can also choose to have extended warranty options on top of that included 3-year warranty. So maintenance. The D5 RIID requires no maintenance at all. The device uses naturally occurring elements to self-calibrate, as I've talked about. There's no need for any additional check sources. It uses naturally occurring radiation to continuously self-calibrate and perform these health checks, and this removes the need for full calibration unless this is requested. So as shown in the webinar, the D5 offers many key benefits. It offers a 3.5% resolution, which means that high quality spectra can be sent for secondary adjudication. The detector technology also provides a high level of sensitivity and accuracy. It's small and light enough to be used in one hand while wearing PPE, and it's really simple for an operator to use. The ultra-low false alarm rate of less than 1 in 24 hours reduces the likelihood of nuisance alarms and ensures that all the alarms can be relied upon. The device has replaceable batteries as well as that internal rechargeable battery. Therefore, you're getting a flexible battery life, which can be really easily extended in the field. The device can be configured in different ways depending on the user's level of authority. So you have that routine versus restricted user mode that I've talked about. We can also provide training via an Android app, which offers a cost-effective and flexible training method. And the detector can also be easily integrated into existing platforms and easily networked into systems that you already might have in place. So overall, the D5 RIID offers a compact, accurate isotope identification solution, which can really be relied upon in the field due to its 3.5% resolution and high sensitivity and accuracy. Okay, thanks everyone. I think I'll move on to some of these questions. I've seen lots of questions popping up as we've been going through. I'm going to try and answer as many of these as I can. Okay. So you said that this product is delivered in a Peli case. Can there only be one detector per Peli case, or can multiple be included in one case? Yes, we're able to offer both single and multiple detectors in a single Peli case. So the single Peli case is one of our standard options, and we also have standard multiple options. But if you did want a bespoke number of detectors in a Peli case, we would be able to provide that as a custom solution. Would I be able to use the D5 RIID with the network that we currently use here already? So yes, absolutely. I've said in the presentation, Kromek's developed our own application for interfacing, and this allows a D5 to be used with any existing network. This includes any existing networks that you might have. Alternatively, we can suggest a network as well, but you can certainly, our detector can be integrated into any existing network. Okay. What third-party testing has been conducted? So we've undertaken really extensive testing on the D5 RIID. This includes the full suite of ANSI testing, includes all environmental tests, IP testing, all of that whole suite from the ANSI N4234. And all of this is being completed by a third-party test house. In addition to this, all of the radiological algorithms have been proven at Oak Ridge National Lab. How does the device hold up against decontamination? Okay, so the answer to that is very well, holds up very well to decontamination. The reinforced ABS is able to withstand all sorts of different chemicals, and you also have that IP67 rating, which means that it can be fully submerged in a liquid detergent or also a powder detergent as well. So yeah, you're able to contaminate the detector very easily, decontaminate the detector very easily. So can the device be used in dark areas, such as ports at night? The black casing could easily blend in here. So yeah, the device does have sort of a black outer casing, but we are able to provide colourful silicone sleeves to make it more noticeable in the dark, so these could be provided as an accessory. And what about screen visibility? So the screen illuminates and lights up, so you'll be able to see it in the dark. And so it can be used in both brightly lit and low lit areas. And the device also has an anti-glare screen. Okay, okay, thank you everyone. I think that's all the questions that I have time for today. As I said, I will get back to you on any of the questions that I didn't manage to answer in the time. After the webinar, we'll get back to you on email. So if you want to continue, if you want to put any questions that I maybe didn't get to or you don't feel had been answered in the webinar, I will get back to you on answers to all of those. Okay, thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. If you have any questions about the D5 RIID or you'd like any more information, then please feel free to reach out to our sales team at sales@kromek.com. Kromek's going to be providing more webinars in the future, including our D-matrix gamma ray imaging webinar. Details on this can be seen at the Kromek website at kromek.com/events. Feel free to go there and see what we have coming up. Also, we're going to be at NCT Virtual Asia, which is later this week. So feel free to come along and have a chat to us there if you're going to be there too. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for taking the time out to participate today, and thanks for joining. Hope to hear from you soon.